this to my channel of an everyday life of an Aspie. If you're following me right now, I'm Aspie. I'm all about creating mental health and awareness versus sharing my life stories and experiences based on my everyday encounters with suspicious syndrome and everything else that comes into the territory of suspicious syndrome. So I'm hoping as you're journeying with me, you'll get to know me more of a person outside these masks of diagnoses that I've been, diagnosed with or what have you, so that hopefully we can just be able to relate one way or another, or just be able to feel safe and not be prejudged or what have you by others around us. I feel that in this day and age that we need to be able to feel safe and able to share our stories, as they say, the freedom of speech card. So whatever I give out to you guys based on tips and advice of managing everyday symptoms or diagnoses of any kind that I may bring out that's close to my heart, please bear in mind that I'm no medical doctor, just put it out there right now. I'm just a normal everyday blog that goes through her hardships regardless of it all, and obviously she's just sharing out her stories and experiences along with some tips and advice along the way that may be of value to you on how to manage and cope with your everyday struggles. I also am hoping to be a voice for you guys, a support, mental advocate, you name it, is to encourage you all through your downtime, regardless of your personal struggles, regardless what it may be. And hopefully with those everyday topics that I bring out of your everyday struggles will be of value and use to you, so that we can actually uplift one another and support one another in this community. Because I'm all about, uplifting one another and supporting one another regardless what it may be. So as you're aware, basically I've been doing the Let's Talk series, but I'm taking a break for just a quick sec just to share out some of the other topics that I want to quickly address to you all that may need to be tidied up, even though yes, it will hopefully go hand in hand into where it's supposed to be on these playlistings. So these ones are at the moment that I'm doing the stimming series. This one is the second part of the series, which will go step by step, as you follow me through. Which this one is called How to Replace Your Harmful Stims. As we know, we need to basically be aware of the stims that are out there that many people do, be it autistic or not. Some can be harmful more than others, and we need to actually address to ourselves or evaluate the situation when that stimming is persistent, why it's happening, the causes, the triggers, and whatever else it may be. I believe that sometimes, there are ways to manage everything, as even though many people think that there's a cure for everything, be it autism, be it, you're just depression and the like, but it's not all about, curing it. It's all about managing and treating it in the right form of way that will hopefully be manageable for us in the long run, regardless what it may be. So no further ado, guys, basically, hopefully with what I've been sharing so far, you've learned something from me today, or learned something new through me, or what I'm sharing with you, all based on my knowledge, training, and experience of what I go through in my everyday life, regardless what it may be. So this is going to be method 2 of the how to replace harmful stims, which is replacing the stim. So let's begin this before I run out of time. As you know, basically, after you feel confident that you have identified the reason or trigger or the cause that made you stim in the first place, you can feel that same need with a better stim, regardless what it may be. Because obviously, we know that with a harmful stim can come out with a, positive. As I say, negative versus the positive. So number 1 in this, though, to bear in mind is address the need that makes you stim harmfully. If you feel the need, or you can feel the need with a stim that doesn't cause any harm, you will have no need to use the bad stim anymore. Like, for example, if you put objects in your mouth for oral stimulation, replace it with gum or candy, or even another suggestion there is basically for oral stimulation when you're stimming, there are some stimming chewing toys that can help now that's been introduced for people with autism and other, features that does the stimming. And number 2, if you rip paper to keep your fingers busy, play with your hair or a favourite stim toy instead, which usually, that's what I usually do with one of my stims. I play with my hair a lot. Many people notice that, and many people may notice that also when it comes down to it. I tap my fingers and everything else. I know it can be annoying for some people, tapping my fingers either on the desktop versus basically clicking my tongue and whatnot, but that's how I roll sometimes when I'm doing my stims, basically. And as I said so many times before, I can't stress it, do not forever tell the child to stop stimming, because obviously some of the form of stims they may feel is safe for them to do either in the privacy of your own home or out in public, when to help overcome the situations of what's causing them to, stim in the first place that leads to that degree of the harmful stims. Number 2 though, however, make a list of stims that could fulfill the same needs. Consider yourself your own repertoire of stims and look for the list of stims on the internet. Once you have a list, try out some of your new stims and see which ones maybe feel helpful to you and may be beneficial to you, regardless what it may be. Okay, for this as an advice, keep the list somewhere that's accessible as you begin learning to redirect the, manner of your stim, regardless what it is, or that harmful stim that was arising, be it, your hair pulling versus your head banging on the walls versus throwing yourself on the walls and whatever else, as a formulation tool. Number 3, use harm reduction for seriously damaging stims. Okay, as we know, for example, to bear in mind that, as I've shared before, sometimes when you transit from head banging to bouncing on an exercise ball, this may be too difficult for some people that stims. Banging your head into a couch cushion or playing a squishy stress ball in your hand first might be more realistic and actually more helpful, first and foremost. So, tips and advice here, or advice here to share with you all is, number 1, less harmful stims might be a stepping stone to completely harmless stims. And number 2, if you do relapse, however, while doing these harmful stims or just the gentle stims, you'll have a less harmful stim to use rather than the most dramatic one in the first place. Number 4, if you use the harmful stim unconsciously, find ways to remind yourself when you're doing it. Noticing what you're doing with your stimming is the crucial part to actually find a way to stop it. As I said before, evaluate and actually find the causes and triggers and find that solution quick, smart. So maybe advice here is ask a friend or family member to tell you when they see you doing it. And number 2, use a physical reminder. Wear a hat if you pick at your forehead, and put on icky tasting nail polish if you bite your nails a lot. Number 5, last but not least on this, is as soon as you notice yourself using the harmful stim, switch to that new stim quick, smart if you can. Okay, obviously congratulate yourself each time you notice what you're doing and redirect that energy into a harmless stim. As we know, basically, rewards and praises for young kids especially is needed when they're going through this, because obviously it can be really stressful for you as a parent as well as for the child as well. In time, these conscious decisions will turn into a habit and you will no longer need to think about it. Okay, this is a quick overview of the how to replace harmful stims part 2. Give me a like for that. Comment below if I missed anything, or just start a discussion on how you go about solving your stims, what works for you, what does maybe not work for you. Did you find any other possible solutions while you were with it? What were the triggers and causes of these dangerous stims that you may have done? And do what you can with this as a open discussion here. Feel free to follow me on Twitter, Facebook, AspieAnswersAll. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Feel free to subscribe to my channel also if you haven't done so already, for hopefully more updates to what I'm up to or doing right now. Do what you love what you do. Thanks for your support, thanks for watching. Aspie signing out, I'll see you all again soon.